Hey YouTube. Um, hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me. Um, so I tried recording this like a while ago, and I was trying to edit it on my computer, and it wasn't working. So I'm just gonna redo it on my phone through a screen recorder. It's called The Second Coming. Um, looks really good. Reading time 4 minutes. Lit. Sorry. It's been a week since the program started. A program that I thought would be the easiest way to make 50 grand within a week. 50 grand? Bitch, I need that kind of job. Um, but things turned to ish on the third day of a project called The Second Coming. 18 people were involved in the project. 8 of us were observers. I was one of the observers, and our role was simple. We were gathered together in one room where we were to watch dozens of monitors that displayed everything going on in a makeshift town, one created for the program. If there was anything noteworthy going on, we would all write a little note about it. At the end of the day, we could read our notes out loud. It's funny how different our perspective of every event was. None of the people were placed in the town as residents. Their role was simple as well. All they had to do was live like normally was live was live like they normally do. Food, water, shelter, and entertainment was provided. The first couple of days I was pretty jealous. Being an observer was downright boring most of the time. It seemed at the time that I had the that sorry, that I had drawn the short end of the stick. Last but certainly not least, we had our Jesus. His role was not simple. He was the only one that had a direct line of communication with the people running the project, and they would let him know when it was time for him to create another miracle. Okay, the person they picked to take on the Jesus role was a wiry little dude. Little guy, a bit shorter than average, with a body structure that matched that of a single chopstick. That's mean. He had a squeaky voice and always looked to be dirty, even after bathing. His name was Chad. His appearance was far from impressive. The residents did not know about this fake Jesus. Crap. They they were even given a completely different name for the program. For all they knew, this whole thing could have been a one giant sleep study or something like that. It's safe to say they weren't prepared for the coming days. The first 3 days were completely normal. The residents the residents got to know each other that night. A couple of them even paired up and went to sleep together. It doesn't take a genius to know what they were doing. Okay. The second and third days were so boring that I found myself dozing off half the time, along with the most of the other observers. The fourth day started off normal enough, but around 3 in the afternoon, Chad performed his first miracle. It wasn't really anything marvelous, just a simple parlor trick that shouldn't have duped a bunch of adults on the first try. But I suppose the people chosen to be residents in this experiment weren't the sharpest people weren't the sharpest group of people. They were all eating lunch when a woman started waving her hands frantically. Chad was face down in the middle of the swimming pool. When the other residents ran over, Chad stood up and walked on the surface of the water towards everyone. A couple of them fell to their knees while the others just stood in shock. I don't really know how to describe the events of the next 4 days any differently than how I recorded them in my notes. So I'll just copy them down here. Day 4. Chad was talking with one of the male residents. Everything seemed fine until the resident suddenly collapsed. It didn't take long for the others to run over to them. Chad stared at the ground for a moment before sorry, it was a notification. Before kneeling down and touching the man on the forehead. Almost imme- Almost immediately the guy jumped to his feet, good as new. Honestly, I don't know how they did it. This is definitely a lot harder of a miracle to pull off than the one he performed the previous day. Day 5. We noticed a female resident standing atop a tall building. Neither me nor the other observers saw how she got up there. We watched in horror as she launched herself off the building. Now below, a pool of blood oozed around her lifeless body as Chad and the other residents slowly walked over to the gory scene. Chad knelt down next to her and whispered a couple of words into her ear. She opened her eyes and, with a dazed look on her face, sat up and looked around at the other residents. The observers and I were in utter disbelief. We have absolutely no idea how he could have possibly done that. Day 6. Uh, I hope this ad is not blocking what I'm trying to look at. They were talking. All the residents gathered together early in the morning. They were talking amongst each other. Chad, however, was nowhere to be seen. They all looked to be frightened. When Chad finally showed up, a couple of the residents grabbed him, while the rest tied him up so that he couldn't move. They then took turns kicking, punching, stabbing, and spitting at him for what seemed like half a day. It took a while for Chad to die, but he didn't struggle. Instead, he harbored a knowing smile on his face. They buried his body later in the evening. Day 7. As soon as we turned on the screen, we instantly grew pale with shock. It looked like a massacre. Body parts were thrown around the entire town. Blood was smeared on almost every building. And on the middle screen, with the same smile on his face, was Chad. He was mouthing a phrase over and over again. "I'll be back for you." In journal. He vanished into thin air, and before any of us could react, the room became pitch black. I don't know when I lost consciousness, but I woke up in my bedroom this morning. I eventually checked my bank account and saw that my payment for the experiment was deposited. Still unsure of how I made it back home, I checked my room for inconsistencies. Everything was exactly how I left it, except for a note on my mirror and a small bouquet of white roses at the edge of my bed. Don't worry, I'll give you a couple of days to run as far away as you can. Love, Chad. Credit, Young. I think this is Young. I really hope I'm saying that right. But I really hope you guys like that. I'm gonna be doing more creepypastas very soon. I really like creepypastas and horror stories and anything else like that. It's really entertaining to me. They are really entertaining to me. Just let me know if you want to hear more or if you want to see any more of that. But thank you so much for watching and listening to my voice and reading it and all that jazz. But thank you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. We officially have 22 subscribers now, which I'm very proud of. I'm glad that we have 22 subscribers. And in December, I will be getting my PlayStation, and I will be, because I'm in college right now, and my mom made me wait. She wants me to wait 6 months to make sure my grades are right. Basically, my mother wanted me to, she wanted me to keep my game at home so she could see how well I could do it at college for 6 months without my game, so I won't be distracted. But I'm too smart for that. So when I finally get my game, we'll be playing a lot of games. You'll be seeing a lot of gameplays. Call of Duty 4 that's coming out, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, Assassin's Creed. Hopefully I get it. I'm also gonna be getting. I asked for a DS for Christmas as well, and I asked for the Mario Kart and Mario Maker. So, if you guys have DSs or anything like that, or any way to connect with the Mario Kart, let me know. Or if you guys want to create Mario levels for me, you can let me know that too. But I'll repeat all this down in the description as well. But thank you guys so much. Love you. Bye.